What's up guys and welcome. You're watching Fancy Fitness. So let's start this video with more physique updates of Rafael Brandao. So he is being very transparent on his YouTube channel, hiding nothing from the competition, nothing from the fans, as his camp knows that he is the favorite to win this show. And rightfully so. I mean, the guy just placed top 3 at the Arnold, Ohio, and he went toe-to-toe with a guy like Samson Dauda, and he really held his own. So after the Arnold Classic Ohio, his coach Neil Hill gave him a week off, from training, from dieting. But since then, he has been focused on just one mission, bringing not just a bigger, but equally conditioned package at the stage in 3 weeks' time, and that is gonna be at the Arnold South America. So Brandao was really impressive at the finals of Arnold, Ohio, where the judges put him next to Samson Dauda to see whether he is ready to get compared with the guys who are gonna be in the first call-out at Mr. Olympia. So Rafael looked harder during the finals, and as per the symmetry, as per the flow, he looked so comparable to Samson Dauda. In fact, he looked better than Samson Dauda in the shape department. There is no denying the fact that Rafael Brandao probably has one of the most aesthetic physique, probably the best flow in the men's open bodybuilding right now. His midsection looks even better than Samson Dauda. And one of the reasons was Samson was kinda struggling keeping his midsection tight, keeping his abdominal section in control. Not to mention the conditioning of Rafael Brandao was better than Samson. So there is no doubt that Brandao is gonna win the Arnold Brazil. All the predictions have him in the first spot. But that being said, if he wins the Arnold Brazil, I'm not really sure if he is gonna go for Detroit Pro. And he might miss out on that opportunity of winning another 25 grand, which is the prize money at Detroit, which I really think that he should go for. I mean, the show is scheduled just 1 week after Arnold Brazil, and 1 more week of dieting, that isn't gonna really slow him down. He can still have a nice little break and an off season after Detroit Pro. So coming back to Arnold Brazil, who is most likely going to challenge Rafael Brandao in Brazil? Will his fellow countryman William Martins bring something special? He does look impressive in all of his recent updates, but he's going to look so blocky next to Rafael Brandao, and a guy who has such a small waist, given that he gets the chance to stand next to Rafael Brandao. Because the thing is, no matter how grainy, how hard, and how dry of a look he brings to the stage, he just doesn't stand a chance against a guy like Rafael Brandao. And the reason is his wide waist, the reason is his midsection. So William Martins has been competing as an IFB pro for some years now, and the look that he brought to the stage in 2022, Chris Aceto was his coach back then. I personally think that was his best look to date. So he blew up over 340 pounds last year during the off-season with Chad Nichols. But the thing is, he really has to watch his midsection. He really needs to watch his waistline. He already had a very wide waist, and he just cannot afford to grow it even one bit. So we couldn't really see the amount of improvements that he was able to make last year, because he just missed his mark big time on conditioning. So maybe this time he can peak better. Maybe this time he can bring the conditioning. And maybe this time we will be able to see how much improvements he was able to make last year. Tonio Burton will most likely be in the final call out with Rafael Brandao. The guy is very round, very aesthetic, and most important than that, he really isn't missing anything, just like Rafael Brandao. He's the guy who can match Rafael in the conditioning. Maybe he can bring back conditioning than Brandao. But personally, I am more excited to see his battle with Carlos Thomas Jr. The battle that was supposed to happen last year at the New York Pro. But it is kinda surprising that Carlos Thomas Jr. hasn't posted anything regarding the training or his physique updates, especially in these last couple of weeks. He has been quiet on his social media, so hopefully everything is just fine. Because last year the reason he dropped out of the New York Pro was that he started having some digestion issues. That was the reason his pro debut was so delayed, and it happened at Texas Pro last year. So let's just hope that everything is fine, and this is just Carlos digging deep to bring an elite level of conditioning. So Carlos is a much more bigger, more muscular, not just from the front, but from the side as well, especially in comparison to Tonio Burton. And not just in comparison to Tonio, he is bigger than Rafael Brandao as well. I mean, the guy has all the size in the world. He just needs to bring the conditioning. But on the other hand, Tonio Burton is a lot better and a lot more complete from the back, and overall a much more complete bodybuilder. So this is definitely going to be a great battle. We know Goodvito is going to be making his pro debut at the Arnold Brazil, a debut that we have all been waiting for a long time now. But then again, this is his pro debut, so we cannot really say how good he's going to do against some big pros, against some big names of the industry like Rafael Brandao. So let's just hope that he lives up to the hype. Another guy who is rumored to be competing at the Arnold Classic Brazil is none other than Jon De La Rosa, the guy who just finished 4th both in Ohio and in UK. but his attendance isn't confirmed just yet. So Jon De La Rosa is also aiming for the Olympia qualification. But after the rules changed 2 years ago, there are no more qualification on points. So you have got to win a pro show in order to secure a spot. And him knowing that he probably won't be able to beat Rafael Brandao, he is gonna have to choose a show after the Arnold Brazil as well. So if we talk about the performance of Jones in these last two shows, we saw the same trend with him. He looked stellar at the prejudging, but he lost the crown during the finals. He was beating Akeem Williams both at the Arnold Ohio and at the Arnold UK as well during the prejudging. So Jon De La Rosa is really being noticed by everyone because he is bringing a level of conditioning that is on par with almost everyone, and that includes a guy like Hadi Choopan as well. His conditioning was absolutely spot on. So Jon is having the time of his life competing at the highest level and bringing his career's best, because we hardly see IFBB pros bring their absolute best shape 10 years into their professional career. But Jon De La Rosa has been able to accomplish that. After placing his career's best ninth at the Olympia, Regan Grimes pushed the gas really hard after that show. He was 300 pounds in a very good condition. He took the maximum advantage of that rebound phase post-Olympia. If you guys remember, he was struggling to get to 300 pounds in the off-season of 2023, and he was able to achieve that so quickly in that rebound phase. So it's safe to say that he had a really good rebound. And now that he has announced that his next show is going to be Vancouver Pro, and probably the first show of the season for him, and most probably he's going to do Dubai Pro as well, he is now slowly transitioning into the pre-contest phase. So Regan, I believe, could have qualified for the Olympia in one of the post-Olympia shows, like Japan Pro. But the thing is, his body was responding just so damn good to the food in that rebound phase post-Olympia that they just decided to keep going with this plan. So Regan Grimes has been competing as a pro since 2017. Yes, you guys heard that right. He isn't a rookie anymore, and he can definitely be considered a veteran IFBB pro now. And last year at the Olympia, we saw his best look to date. We finally saw him in a damn good condition. And the feedback that was given to Regan Grimes was that to work on 3 body parts that were his biggest weaknesses: the quads, the biceps, and his chest. If he's able to put more mass on his quads, that is going to increase his overall aesthetics, that is going to enhance his X-frame, and in turn his waist is going to look a lot smaller. So Regan looked so massive standing next to Michael Krizo, who is one of the biggest freak out there, and he really held his own. And I am sure that Regan has added some quality tissue, some quality lean muscle mass during this offseason. And if he has been successful in doing that to all his right areas, he is gonna be so much more dangerous. So Milos have always believed that Regan Grimes has Mr. Olympia body structure. And Jay Cutler has also said that Regan Grimes can be Mr. Olympia. And we also heard last year from Nick Walker that Regan Grimes probably has the best structure out there. And if he really puts it all together, he's gonna be trouble for everyone out there. So again, Regan made his pro debut back in 2017. Now is the time to start moving up the ranks. Now is the time to show it to the bodybuilding world that he is a potential top 6 Mr. Olympia level contender. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.